Built on 450 acres, this huge racetrack. It's hard to believe and hard to express just how far away these race cars get when you consider that they're lapping at about 48 seconds. Your leader, Dale Jarrett, 184.9 miles an hour that last lap.
One of my favorite shots from the blimp was with the lake in the background. Reminds me of the great story with Tom Pistone. The first race he ever ran here, he ran off into the lake. So they pulled him out of the lake and everything. Second race he ever ran at the Daytona 500, he wore a life jacket the entire race. I think that's the only person that's ever worn a life jacket at the Daytona 500 was Tom Pistone. One of the great stories in racing.
The nose guard must have cost more than those sunglasses. Down to the line they come, closing up some. Jarrett, Labonte, Hensley, Dale Earnhardt, Greg Saxon, Harry Gant. There's the 7 of Handsome Harry, also known as Hard Luck Harry Gant. Found some dry times on the Winston Cup circuit for a number of years, but has done well here in Busch Grand National Racing. You mentioned a couple of years ago, Johnny, he won 5 races. We should point out he won 5 of the last 7 races that season. Everybody said, wow, Harry Gant is back. He also picked up a couple of events last year and some poles to go with it.
Harry uses a lot of the Darrell Waltrip driving style, approaches it in a very intelligent way and say, hey, let's save this car to the end. I'll ride back here where it's comfortable. So you never know if Harry's showing you everything he has. He may just be sitting back there drafting. You remember we talked earlier about gas mileage and that sort of thing, and maybe he's using that as a factor.
There you see Harry Gant down across the line, running at the very back of this chain of cars. 6 cars in it. Harry is 6th and content to run at that point. They should be able to go the rest of the way on this load of fuel. Now, in this pack of cars, look for the number 87. We talked about Bobby Labonte being a young guy. The 3rd car in line there is Joe Nemechek from Mulberry, Florida. A year ago, Joe Nemechek went running on the short track All-Pro Series and won it, both Rookie of the Year and the Series Championship. He's out here now in his first Busch Grand National race. He started 38th in this field. He is now running in 8th position. He's done what a young guy should. He's kept his nose clean, stayed out of trouble. His crew chief is Donnie Allison, who knows a thing or two about getting around this racetrack. And Joe Nemechek is doing real well today. In fact, we asked Joe before the race, this is your first time here, what's the scariest thing about driving at Daytona?
I think the worst part is when the car starts bouncing back and forth and you don't know what's going to happen. Just the turbulence of the air starts moving the car around, and coming off a turn 4, you know, the wall's coming up and here you are bouncing around and you don't know what's going to happen. But normally the car just follows right in the same airstream.
Well, I thought he was going to say the toughest part would be having to face Donnie Allison if you didn't do what he told you to do, because he's another hardcore, you do what I tell you to do, or watch out, boy.
11 lead changes among 8 drivers. Keep in mind, we've actually had more lead changes than that, but since you only score the lap leader at the start-finish line, we've only had 11 when they get all the way around. Right now, it is Bobby Labonte back on point. Brother Terry looking on, coaching from on high. Father Bob calling the shots in the pits, wearing the number 44 that took Terry Labonte to the Winston Cup Championship a few years ago.
It's unreal. Terry was real concerned about this race for Bobby not to go out and embarrass himself. It's his first big shot in front of his sponsor. And I'm sure they're sitting there thinking, now is this Fantasy Island, man. Go out here the first time and got a shot at winning. We've run up front all day. No matter what happens now, he's proved to America the boy can drive a race car.
Getting 3 wide now off of 4. This is the battle for second place. You see Dale Earnhardt has come underneath. Earnhardt is on the lead lap. He is in 3rd position. He has now got Dale Jarrett behind him and Greg Sachs behind them. Great racing here at Daytona, and there's a lot of great racing coming your way on Prime Network. Be sure to watch This Week in NASCAR every Thursday night before each NASCAR Winston Cup race. Host Eli Gold will let you, the caller, talk to your favorite NASCAR personality. Consult your local Prime Network affiliate for exact times and dates of This Week in NASCAR in your area. There's a look at Dale Earnhardt, and don't forget, next weekend on Prime Network, we'll be bringing you flag-to-flag coverage of the Richmond 200, the Busch Grand National race from Richmond International Raceway, and that is going to be a very different race, I would guess, Johnny, from what we're seeing here on the Super Speedway.
Oh, I can't wait to get up to Clay Earl's new racetrack. That thing is gorgeous. It's the kind of racetrack where you get head-to-head, and it's a fun racetrack to go to, different attitude.
Well, Sawyer will be glad to hear you say that.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Earnhardt running alone. Greg Sachs now battling to get around Dale Jarrett. Harry Gant right on Sachs's bumper. I think Harry may have more than he's showing right now, Johnny.
Well, you just never know about him, but I think he was in the draft there. Now they're running side by side. One of them needs to give here, or they're going to lose the draft totally. Maybe Harry should just go ahead and let Dale go and jump back under him unless Dale's got a problem.
There he goes. The number 7 tucks in behind. You bet.
You can't take the chance of losing the draft, or you can get out of this show real quick.
96 laps. We'll have 97 laps complete when we come around. That will leave 23 laps remaining in this 120-lap, 300-mile contest. The winner will take home $34,000.
You know something that you don't notice real quick, Earnhardt is running those lead 2 cars down by himself without the help of an additional car. And as we explained earlier, 2 cars run together much faster than 1, so that shows you how strong Earnhardt is. He's coming now.
Bobby Labonte being left to run alone. Now, once again, Jimmy Hensley tucks up behind. Hensley might have taken a look behind and seen Dale Earnhardt coming and thought, wait a minute, I better get right up here behind Bobby and see if we can put a couple of car lengths on that black number 3. But it isn't going to work. Look at Earnhardt right up. I think he's going to take Hensley on this corner. He's going to come right up underneath him. Nope, tucks behind as they head down toward the tri-oval. Oldsmobile, and Chevrolet in the top 3 positions here in the waning moments of the Goody's 300.
Don't you know the Oldsmobile people tickle to death with this kind of performance in this Busch Grand National Series?
We mentioned that it's totally V6 engine. Once upon a time, V6 engines were going to be the toast of the big Winston Cup Series, but it hasn't turned out that way. Busch Grand National Racing is the only place you'll find the fastest V6s in the world. Bobby Labonte is your leader over Jimmy Hensley, Dale Earnhardt, Greg Sachs, and Dale Jarrett. Back at Daytona, while we were away, leader Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Hensley pitted. We have a new leader, and his name is Dale Earnhardt. He has come back from 1 lap down, despite throwing lubricants off of that car and getting a good close look from NASCAR. Even a slipping clutch problem has not kept Dale Earnhardt off the lead. The 2-time winner of the Goody's 300 looks like he wants another one today.
Well, those appear to be routine pit stops. When you run this long, the tires are being used up. They're very hard tires. The racetrack's getting slick, and some of these people come in and take a chance trying to get new tires on it and more gas. So there's going to be some people who roll the dice out here today.
And you've got to wonder about Earnhardt's tires. You see the gap back to Greg Sachs running in the 2nd position. 18 laps remain. Dale Earnhardt has to wonder whether or not Labonte and Hensley, with the new rubber on, are going to be able to catch him and run him down.
Both of those guys are hoping for a caution so the field can get blocked back up. Right now, Earnhardt seems to have a drive away. Now the other 3 cars are starting to hook up in a draft, so we have a 3-way draft. Harry Gant's just right behind Dale Jarrett, so maybe they can hook up and run him down. That's their only chance.
There's Greg Sachs in the 2nd position with Dale Jarrett and Harry Gant right on his tail. If those guys can hook up, they might have a shot at running down Earnhardt. But the laps are beginning to run down. Now, Dale Earnhardt, of course, is a 3-time Winston Cup champion. He doesn't need to run in the Busch Grand National Series, so we asked him, Dale, why run in the Busch Grand National?
A lot of the races we run through the season, it really helps us for the Sunday races, Darlington races, the Bristol race. Daytona's a lot of fun to run. I got some guys that work on the car back home, and you know, they enjoy it. Goodrich sponsors the car, so we got everything pretty much worked out financially. So it's a fun deal, and I can get a little idea of what the track's going to do for Sunday's racing. They enjoy racing too.
Busch Grand National often runs on Saturday before the Sunday event. Let's get a comment from Neil Bonnet in the pit lane.
Well, he might really enjoy racing today. I just talked to his guys. He went 51 laps on the last tank of fuel. He just had 50 to go this time. That was the reason he was sitting there behind those guys. He closed the gap up. He rode along in 3rd and 4th to make sure he had some mileage, and they don't have any intentions of stopping that little black car.
And I really respect Earnhardt running here for training, but bottom line, last year's winner took home $34,457, and he's not having to race some of the really tough guys. And he owns his team. This is Dale's own team, This is not a Richard Childress team. So, old Dale, you know, another 34 grand in your back pocket wouldn't hurt that bad. We do it because we love it.